Hey, Mark. Austin Matthews dropped some weight in the offseason, and they say he's moving faster, which should make him, I guess, even tougher to defend against. What do you see as the biggest challenge going up against him here tonight?
It's standard Toronto media. I think you guys talk about guys, weight fluctuations more than anyone. But he's a fantastic player. He's obviously his skill speaks for itself. But yeah, playing against him is always a fun challenge. And he's got tons of skill. Really smart, really intelligent hockey player. So anytime you get to go against a guy of his caliber, it's always a lot of fun. And maybe his loss of weight will we'll make him a little easier in the corners, but we'll see tonight.
We'll go next with Steve Simmons. Go ahead, Steve.
Mark, this experience of coming home to this area, playing in Toronto, so different now under the circumstances. What's it like to come home but not really be home?
It's weird, getting off the plane. It was a really weird feeling knowing, usually I come here and I get to see my parents, I get to see my brother and sister, I get to see friends, I get to see them after the game. It's a totally different feeling, being an hour away from, my parents' house, and not being able to see them is definitely tough. I know I talked to my dad for a little while last night, and it definitely stinks not being able to actually see him, and which is really hard. But I know they'll be watching. I know they'll be cheering from home, and Toronto's always playing in Toronto. It's got a good place in my heart. So I know they'll be watching. I know they'll be with me in spirit.
We'll go next to Mike McIntyre from the Free Press. Go ahead, Mike.
Hi, Mark. You guys have gotten used to having players making their NHL debuts over the last couple seasons. There's been a long list of them. I'm not sure whether it's Logan Stanley or Dylan Sandberg. We haven't heard from Paul yet. But regardless of which guy it is, what do you say to a player who's making their debut and on a pretty big stage like this one is going to be?
Have fun. That's all you can really say. Keep it simple. Have fun. Your first game in the National Hockey League is a pretty special moment, and all you got to do is enjoy it, soak it all in, enjoy it. You're playing in Toronto, the mecca of the hockey world, and all you got to do is just soak it all in and enjoy it. And then once you get on the ice, just play hockey.
And we'll go next to Ted Wyman from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead.
Thank you, Gregor. Mark, you talked a bit about being from that area and how important it is to you and how much you like playing there. Do you think that plays into why you've had quite a bit of success against the Leafs with 19 points in 14 games?
Who knows? Obviously, every time I come to Toronto, you're a little extra ramped up for the game because you're playing in front of all your family and friends, and you always want to put a show on for mom and dad. So maybe that's it. But regardless of the situation, it's still you're still playing. You're so close to home. They're watching at home, so you just gotta channel that energy a little differently and try to have a good game.
And we'll go next to Michael Trakos. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for doing this. A lot of talk's obviously going to occur around Patrick Laine and whether he plays tonight or not. I'm just wondering how encouraging was it to see the output out of him in game one, and how confident are you that the more games he has like that, the longer he might stick around in Winnipeg past this year?
Yeah, that's not really all that stuff isn't really in my control. All you try to do is go out every night and win a hockey game, and that's kind of the focus, each and every time. You gotta go out and need every guy firing on all cylinders to win in this league, and especially, in this Canadian division. So, that's what we need. We need all our best players playing the best every single night, and that's kind of the way I'm handling that.
Just time for a couple more. We'll go next to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Ken.
Afternoon, Mark. Thanks for taking the time. What kind of growth have you seen from Logan Stanley since entering the organization? And I mean, this from your own personal experience. It's not always a direct line to the NHL after being a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, honestly, I started to see a little bit more of his growth the last 2 summers when I went back and spent a little more time in Kitchener, and proud Kitchener boy. So it's always good to see a guy like that making his way into the NHL. obviously his size is a huge aspect of his game. But I skated with him a bunch in the off season. Him and Nate Bastian, who's with Jersey, and Ben Schrott. So we played a lot of 2-on-2. So I saw a lot of growth in his game. Even just from that point in September to where he is now. So he's putting a lot of hard work in the summer. Saw him in the gym a lot. Saw him on the ice a lot, and he put in the work this summer. So you love to see a guy that puts that much work in and works as hard as he did. This offseason, get his chance and be with us. So I think it'll be awesome to see him. I don't know who's playing tonight either. So, but I would love to see him in the lineup. Having a big body presence like that can move the puck and shoot the puck like he can. But obviously a guy that I, spent a little bit of time with, this summer and saw his growth. It's good to see a guy that works so hard get what he deserves.
And we'll go last question, go back to Steve Simmons. Go ahead, Steve.
Thanks for this. And Mark, thanks for doing this. Do you find yourself maybe today, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, thinking about Dale at this time?
I think every single day, he definitely comes through my mind. Every day that I'm at the rink, that's for sure. Obviously, seeing a guy of my relationship with him, see a guy go like that, definitely hurts every time you think about it. But I know he's watching over me. You can't dwell on the bad, but all you can think about is the good memories. And every time I go on the ice, there's a piece of him with me. Knowing what he taught me growing up when I was playing in Barrie. Getting on the ice early, working on your game. Every time that's what I learned from Dale. When I was 17 years old, and every time I get on the ice early, every time I stay on late is credit to him. By teaching me to do that. Whenever I watch hockey, it was because he told me, that's the best education you can get is watching the best players in the NHL play. So. There's always a part of him with me, and I know he's up there watching down on me, and I definitely believe that wholeheartedly.